Hey guys, we're gonna be playing Night Call again. It's been a while. I'm going to try and remember the voices as much as I can. And try to remember where we left off. You open your front door and your foot hits something. An envelope. Someone slid it under the door. Who say? You open it straight away. It's a police file. You lay it on the table. It must be from your passenger, the whistleblower. You smiled. He kept his word. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Okay, we have time to investigate. There's only one picture. And let's look up. How do we look up again? Okay. So this game is gonna be leaving the Game Pass tomorrow, and I wanted to finish it. Also, because I have no clue who it is, and every time you play is a different ending, so I couldn't leave it like that. I don't remember who I think it is. I think it's Hervé. I'm sorry if I butcher any of the words and spelling and whatever. Okay, spin over the case. Let's keep on moving. Okay, this one's just him. It's nothing anymore. Give me a second. Why the music's doing that. Okay. Just you. Just you. Okay. I barely remember anything. I hope it's not Hervé. I barely talked to her. No, wrong one. Claudia. I only saw her once, and I think I saw Perot once as well, but I don't remember. I saw Paul a few times. I don't know if it's Paul. I don't think it's Paul. Divorced from a judge. Okay. Should I end the night? With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You lie down on a sofa bed. Its frame creaks. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. You wish you were far away from here. Far, far away from here. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Your eyes close, you fall asleep. Something is bothering you. Something is stuck in your throat. You start coughing over and over. You lean out of bed. A black shadow creeps out of your mouth and bangs loudly on the floor. You awake with a start. Damn nightmare. You glance at the floor. Nothing there. You lie back down, still shaking. That's what you get for smoking. Okay, so it's night 4. There's 5 nights, I believe. Just like Freddy. You open one eye. It's pitch black outside. Time for work. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Oh, okay, night 5 is supposedly the last night. I really don't know. I don't remember. Okay, where are we? There we are. What are we gonna do? I think we have to go here first. Oh, there's Hervé. I wonder if he's gonna still be there. Alright, from outside the Montparnasse gun store. Oh, sorry, I didn't read like the narrator. Looks like any other shop. A plain, discreet front window, sliding doors. But inside, they sell handguns, machine guns, knives, and even grenades. It's your first time here, but you already had its owner in your cab. The store opens really early, so that the patrons can come train at the shooting range. As you walk up to the counter, you hear the distant noise of gunshots under your feet. It's an unsettling experience. Can I help you? It's the owner speaking, an older woman with a hunched back. She's been selling weapons since the 70s. She's cheeky in a typically Parisian way, and her wrinkles carve craters across her face. Ah, it's you! It's been ages. Come closer. He makes small talk and eventually decides to go for it. I have a question for you about a weapon. You slide the photo of the shell across the counter. She looks slowly at you. Where's the photo from? She's been doing this for years, and you doubt you can pull one over on her. Okay. Cops, I took it. I'm gonna say a photographer friend. Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here. And honestly, I don't remember where it came from. I thought it was from the photographer friend, but okay. You recoil at the bitterness in her voice. Listen, I'm just looking for more information about this shell. Oh no! I didn't remember. I really thought it was the photographer. I don't talk to filthy liars like you. Get out. She points to the door. The police gave it to me. Yeah, and just how did you end up with police photos? I'm helping them out. You know perfectly well this lady never smiles, but something on her face shifts ever so slightly into what might be considered construed as a small grin. I'm not surprised. You were always the type to want to help people out. She practically rips the photo out of your hands. You give her as many details as you can. She thinks for a while. The shop doors open and a woman, probably a cop from her appearance, comes in, greets the owner, and disappears downstairs. When she opens the door, it creaks and the smell of gunpowder spreads through the shop. It's funny. It doesn't fit with what you told me. The gel is in perfect shape. And you told me the bullets are also completely clean. But it's old ammo, you can tell. There are no scratches, but there are a few oxidation stains and... Her voice grows darker all of a sudden, like something had escaped from her. In my opinion, it's from an old weapon, perfectly maintained, by someone who knew what they were doing. In light of what you told me, I'd say it belonged to a cop or a soldier. Could be a family weapon. It was a police service weapon in the 1970s. Either a cop held on to it or the guy you're looking for inherited it. That
judge there. He's the pro.
You raise your head to meet her gaze. Her old bones make that slight shift again. The one that could be construed as a smile.
Or she, actually. You know, lots of women shoot. And I give classes if you have any lady friends who are interested.
Back in your cab. You glance back at the shop. You don't know how this woman knew that. Anyway, you start your taxi. You have what you need to move forward with your investigation. And a coupon for a class of shooting automatic weapons. Okay. It's leading to Paul. Ah, Hervey's not around no more. I should have figured. I could have canceled it, but I wasn't sure how. Let's go with her. Okay, let's go to him. I'm sorry. Jim, more like it. Oh, that's a big fair. Okay. A street a little off the place de la Etoile. I don't know what to say that. Your client is pacing back and forth in front of a jazz club that's just closed. He raises his walking stick and hails your cab. He climbs into the cab straight away. Okay. Père Lachaise Cemetery, please. The northern entrance in the 20th arrondissement. I picked a bad guy. I can't read a single word. Okay. Cemetery's closed. You going to the cemetery? Sure. Start driving. You're going to the cemetery? You know it is. You know how it is. Paris real estate. A bizarre smile fits his face. Another drunk passenger, perhaps? And yet this one sitting up perfectly straight, walking stick across knees. His getup reminds you of another night creature. A regular customer with a taste for young flesh, both men and women. Looks like they move in the same strange world of... Your passenger's insistent gaze in the rearview mirror cuts your musing short. Are you cold? Would you like me to turn up the heat? No, thank you. I'm fine. But I am a little hungry. I still never really got into what these symbols mean on next to, like, which ones are good to say, which ones I shouldn't. I haven't branched out into business. They don't serve food at the club? Let's just try it. They do. I've tried it, but it isn't to my wasn't to my liking. He levels his gaze at your neck, insistently. Oh my god, is this guy like a necrophiliac or something? Or a cannibal or a murderer? I don't know. What is to your liking? Oh god, I don't like this. Anywhere with meat on the menu. Any suggestions? You're taken aback by his question. It's too late to... At this time of night? I know a place. There's a steak place in Châtelet, open all night long. Excellent. Would you at least agree to having a drink with me? Just a coffee. He hesitates a moment, then shakes his head in disbelief. Well then, just a coffee it'll have to be. You turn onto the street with the restaurant. You pull over. It's been a long time since the passenger No, it's the first time a passenger's ever gotten out and opened a door for you. You reluctantly follow him into the restaurant. He sits down at the table and orders red meat from the typically Parisian sinister waiter. Then, with a knowing smile, he turns to you. A coffee for the gentleman. Ristretto, no sugar. How you know how I like my coffee? I love sugar in my coffee. That's exactly how you like your coffee. Okay, he knows how I like my coffee, but that's not my coffee. That's the driver's coffee. How did he... Okay. Later, much later. The trip to the Père Lachaise cemetery goes by quickly. You pull up to the north entrance, and one of the heavy gate doors open, just as he said it would. Your passenger hands you the fare and a generous tip, then slips through the open gate. You idle by the entrance for a few seconds longer, your head spinning with anecdotes. Robert Johnson, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse. Your passenger seems to have been personally acquainted with all those great 27 Club musicians fated to die too young. I'm sorry, but too young. That should have two O's and two. You watch its silhouette as it advances into the depths of the cemetery, then decide it's time to go. Okay. That was weird. Okay. This is... What's your name again? Perot or something? We're going to see Perot, or whatever his name is. I should restock up on gas. But I'm not gonna do that now, just in case he's not there when I come back. Yes, Perot. I hope I'm just saying it right. Perot, Bataz? Okay, too drunk to drive. What did he sound like? You pull up in front of the address of the central office he gave you. A crepe joint. Quite a popular one by the looks of the line spilling out the door and onto the sidewalk. You sit for a moment. The doors open and a group of 30-somethings come into view. All the men and women are dressed alike. Sporty, running shoes, jeans, small shoulder bags. They're officers from the Paris... Is it Paris or Paris? Paris Anti-Crime Squad in plain clothes. You sigh. Those brutish types. Ones who like to race, tackle, clobber. Ones who ruin the afternoon she spent wandering around Paris in your teens. Sorry about that. Paris in your teens. After a bit, one of them pulls away from the group and comes over to your taxi. He opens the door and collapses onto the back seat. He is stocky and of Asian descent. You can see his muscles through his thick winter clothes. He smells like grapes and hard cider, and his face is bright red. Okay. I'm probably going to end up giving him a new voice because I don't remember how it sounded. Hey, what's up? I live near Churns. He chuckles as one of his colleagues rushes over to the taxi and pulls an imaginary gun from his coat. He points to his badge and screams at you, with a big smile on his face. What a D-bag! Now the cop eventually backs off, and you drive away. Sorry, man. We were having a going-away party for a colleague. And celebrating Christmas, too. No worries. Your passenger smiles, then puts his fingers back on his temples. I drank too much. Crap. I'm a lightweight, and they knew it. I think they were trying to loosen my tongue. His behavior changes abruptly, like he's just seen a ghost. One question. Yes? Do taxi drivers have some sort of policy or ethics code? Not sure I understand. Like priests or doctors. If I tell you something, can you keep it to yourself? You start speaking before you even have a chance to reply. I've been lying to my colleagues for years. I joined the squad 8 years ago, and they all think I'm in a relationship with a woman who lives in Strasbourg, and that we're going to get married. He makes a strange yelping noise, like an air bubble bursting on the surface of a river. As soon as they get too close to Strasbourg, I start making up stories. We've almost broken up 10 times. I convinced them we were trying to have a kid, but it hasn't worked yet. He sighs. Damn, saying it out loud, it's just the worst. His eyes are getting shiny. I'm gay. A deep breath. I'm getting married in a few weeks to my boyfriend. Another breath. Longer. Deeper. No one at work knows. Not a soul. The next sentence comes out in a rush. He holds his breath the whole time. I like men. I've always liked men. But I work in a police station and listen to the comments and to their jokes all day long. When we catch a guy who's never done time before, we tell them briefly what he should expect. We talk about the violence, about the... Finally, he breathes again. I say we because I'm in on it. Because I can say, I'm not saying that, any time of day without any prompting. The word rolls off my tongue completely naturally. Not saying it. Finally looks you in the eye. They're not mean. Ooh. Weird. What is it? Ooh. He shakes his head. My colleagues aren't mean people. They're cops. Not mean, just doing the job. He manages to flash a tiny crooked smile. You know what I'd really like? He pauses. I'd like to have them over for dinner. Everybody on the squad. They could see my place. We could play a board game. Something normal, you know? And they could meet James. He's your husband-to-be? He takes a moment to think about your question. Yes. Soon. He smiles at last. A genuine smile. Can you believe it? We're getting married in 2 weeks. After living together for 9 years. For 9 years, he'd been willing to live in a lie. He understands? It's wild, but yes. He knows I love my job and couldn't possibly do anything else. He loves me enough to let me keep lying. He slowly shakes his head. But I can't go on like this. I have to. He freezes. Crap, my head is spinning. I don't feel so good. Why am I telling you all this? Why? He grabs onto the seat in front of him. Hey, can you pull over? He stops immediately. He opens the door and leans. Hold on, I got an achievement. Oh no, Perot threw up. Okay. He stops immediately. He opens. Now I got a game pass alert. Okay. He opens the door and leans the top of half of his body out. He throws up. You open your window to air out the greasy smell of fried crepes and the sour scent of cider. A moment later, the cop sits back up. Okay, I'm all set. I got it all out. You start driving again. I'm sorry. Really. It's alright. I hate all that. The sausage parties, cheap alcohol, the lies. You nod while your passenger moans and quietly says, I'm sorry. Don't worry. He pauses to catch his breath. Crap, I haven't barfed like that since last Easter. They made me drink a South African liquor, something with cream and cocoa. Nasty. I can still picture it. I was doing shots while they shouted my name. Karate Kid! Karate Kid! Karate Kid? He seems uncomfortable. It's my nickname on the squad. Karate? Yeah, I was a judo champion. And I don't think I should say that. I'm not gonna say that. So, he runs his hands along the sides of his body, like he's showcasing it for the Home Shopping Network. So, Karate Kid. Yeah, I know it makes no sense. It's racist. Well, yeah, a little. But at first, I didn't say anything. And now, I'm used to it. He stops suddenly. Everything's spinning again. Can you pull over? A repeat of last time. He opens the door and leans his head out, his torso, his arms. The sound makes your stomach churn as you stare straight ahead. Can I ask you a question? More puke on the sidewalk, a little inside the vehicle. Go ahead. Fine, shoot. He sits up, prompts you to drive. So, here goes. What should I do? Should I keep on keeping on? Should I confess? Should I invite them to my wedding and surprise them? He pauses. It's a long one. Be straight with me. What would you do if you were me? If you were in my shoes? I think you're being hard on yourself. You're hurting yourself rather than trying to solve the problem. You're not going to change your orientation or leave your husband. So there aren't a ton of alternatives. You have to tell them. I got an achievement. Give me a second. It's covering the dialogue. Tell them. Wow. I gotta tell them. He looks at you in the mirror. Can you take me somewhere else, if you don't mind? I don't mind. My colleagues are at a bar. I'll go see them. Tell them everything. If I don't do it now, then I'll never do it. A smile of relief spreads across his face. It's not just alcohol talking. Yes, but I think it's about the 10th time I've got it wasted this month. You're right, I'm hurting myself. He gives you the new address. I need to tell them now. I feel terrible, but I think I'll feel better if I speak to them directly. His headache is apparently back and has knocked him out a bit. You're used to having a drunk people in your cab. Actually, the majority of your Saturday night passengers are drunk. I don't know how to tell them all about this. voice, you can tell he's beginning to panic. I don't think I'm ready. Okay. I don't want to ask if I should... I mean, if I ask if I should turn around, I'm hoping he says no. But I don't want to say nothing either, because I feel like that's rude. I'm just gonna say, should I turn around? Turn around. Oh. He's getting to your face, trying to figure out what you're thinking. You think that it's your decision. Good then. I want to go to the bar. Good for you! He seems determined despite his shaky voice. I want to tell him about James. You're about to say something when he cuts you off. My mind is made up. He smiles briefly and you turn back towards the bar. For the remainder of the trip, your passenger is silent. From time to time, he massages his temples. His headache is persistent. When he sees you watching him in the rearview mirror, he raises a hand. Everything's fine. It's cool. He smiles like someone slowly sobering up. Weariness replacing the alcohol. Stress taking over giddiness. You stop the car. Your passenger waits for a second. Then all of a sudden, like he just woke up, you should realize you're at the bar. Already? Yes. He pays his fare, but it's frozen in place. A piece of advice? Tell them how you feel. Yeah, right. We know each other well enough. They should understand. In any case, he flashes you a grin. Thank you. I don't quite remember what I said, but thank you. He jumps out of the taxi so quickly, you think someone kicked him in the butt. You follow his stocky figure with your gaze. He goes into the bar, looks for his friend, and waves. You drive off. Yeah, if you have racist friends or homophobic friends, you don't have friends. You need better friends. They were never friends to begin with. Just saying. No one should have to deal with all that. Okay, what's next? Not sure. Should I get gas? I think I could go without the gas. I don't know who this is. Let's go see whoever this is. You slow down a bit. You've just been hit with a migraine. You crack your window. Icy Parisian air fills the cab. You need to rest. You need coffee. You just had a coffee with that other rider, the cannibal guy or whatever he was. You need to close your eyes. Just a minute. One tiny minute. You don't need to sleep. Hold on, is that me? Is that supposed to be me? You raise your head and see yourself sitting in the back seat. It is me! Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to do the slightly different version of his voice. Your gut clenches. No, it's more like someone is pulling your guts out. Yeah, I look like crap, I know. No surprises considering all the crap I eat, right? He smirks, or maybe it's just a smile. You can't quite tell. I've just got one thing to say. It won't take too long.
You'll be able to get back to defending the weak and the poor right after. And maybe cleaning up your reputation and that pretty face of yours. Every once in a while, I picture us on the night Dad died. You remember?
Your mouth is burning. Like you have hot coals on your tongue.
I remember. All that hate you had built up inside. It was incredible. It was natural. Natural?
He smiles at you.
To feel so much hate while you were becoming an orphan?
He clicks his tongue. You hate that noise.
You're screwed up.
The shape in the backseat appears to settle in.
Plus, all that hate, it was aimed at me. You threw it all in my hands. I wanted you dead. I wanted to poke your eyes out.
You see his teeth flash in the rearview mirror.
But you only had eyes for Mom. And everybody else. You could tell they weren't doing well. That they didn't get it. Stop.
He chuckles.
Yeah, right, like I'm going to stop.
You feel a shooting pain in your arm.
Every time the neighbor's friend came to the door to offer their condolences, they said they were sorry, but he was too young. You wanted to scream at them, tell them that they didn't understand anything. But you kept your mouth shut, didn't you? Stop!
Your pulse is beating in your temples.
He pauses. That's exactly how you should have reacted. Shame. You're 15 years too late.
He is almost whispering now.
You're always the weaker of us two.
He remains silent for a moment.
You see, our brother, he was a devil incarnate, but he always practiced what he preached. If you were him, you'd already stop the killer with your balls alone. But no, you prefer to make a deal with the police, with every jerk in the city of Paris.
The silence. Chilling.
You're gonna die alone, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna hang around.
Shadow moves in the front of the cab. By the time you realize it was just a car, you're alone in the cab. You close your eyes, hoping your migraine will subside. You feel exhausted. You sit for a few minutes and start driving again. The purr of the motor is strangely warm and comforting. Okay. Now, I don't remember. Does he have a twin brother? Okay. Oh, I'm not sure who this is, but I have to go talk to them apparently. This is like so blacked out that I can't tell. I don't remember this silhouette. Oh, I couldn't see the silhouette from there. Alright. St. Louis Hospital as usual. Okay, no, he had an older man voice. Let's try and remember. You recognize the next passenger getting in your cab. A cop. The detective. Your suspect. He has a tired look about him. Not just because it's early. His voice drags.
The usual place.
St. Louis Hospital, then. You start driving. You notice right away that your passenger is cold. Very cold, in fact. He's shivering and chattering his teeth. You start driving, but keep an eye on him. He flashes a crooked smile.
That's really not necessary. Thanks, though. I'm not cold. It's my medication. I can't remember the voice. It's my medication. It's pretty bizarre side effects. 1 minute I'm hot, the next I'm cold. Not fun, really. But it's for my own good. His face says otherwise. He's not quite convinced. Actually, maybe it is the cold. I hadn't been getting this cold in ages. I don't like this voice. I really don't remember what I did. Since 1982, I think. Okay, just whatever. 83, maybe.
And almost in a whisper, he adds,
The Year of the Tiger. The Chinese Year of the Tiger?
he's smiling now, but continues shivering ever so slightly.
No. The year we hunted a tiger down in Paris. Nothing to do with the Chinese. It's a really nice story, actually. Well, maybe nice isn't the right word. You'll see. And it'll get my mind off things.
He has a nervous laugh, clearly uncomfortable, probably not used to preparing for Hajj.
It was late December. The weather was crap. Never been so cold in my life. The water in the fountains and gutters were frozen. In the office, most of my colleagues were sick. Stuck in bed. I was sick too, but I was new. So I sucked it up and blew my nose every 5 minutes. My nose was red. My breath reeked of cough drops. We all looked like we were about to keel over. Excuse me, sorry. The switchboard phone rang and no one answered. I sighed, got up, picked up the phone. A woman screamed in my ear. A tiger! She's seen a tiger, orange and black, big as a motorcycle, in the Rue des Bouchers. I burst out laughing, told her it was a good prank and hung up. Less than a minute later, the phone rang again. The second line too. And the one in the chief's office. He points to the different areas of the car.
He points to different areas of the car, as if he could still hear the phones ringing.
A tiger! A really big one! Rue des Bouchers, Rue des Seine, Rue des Beaux-Arts.
The passenger rubs his chin and seems deep in thought.
We're starting to think maybe something fishy was going on. So we gotta move on. We grabbed our coats and scarves. One of the guys from the squad called his brother-in-law who works at the zoo in Vincennes. He sighs. Outside it was snowing buckets. Huge flakes the size of your gear shift there. We were better off on foot. When we got to St. Mitchell, we walked down the Quai des Grands Augustine, knocking on doors. The people we talked to wanted us to take their word for it. They swore they seen a tiger, and they were dead serious. We walked the streets, the snow was slowing, but only barely. He looks at you. I'm sure you're familiar with that moment. Sorry. In the middle of the night, when Paris is completely quiet, you nod. It's incredible, like the city just stops for a moment. Yeah. Well, it's just like that. Utter and total calm. Absolute silence. The team broke into pairs. We checked alleys and passageways. I feel like I'm drifting into like some sort of Irish accent. I'm trying not to. I know everybody here is French, but back then the neighborhood was like Swiss cheese, with nooks and crannies all over and garages built without permits. It wasn't the highbrow neighborhood it is today. He heaves a sigh. He seems sad. We went into this narrow street because my partner thought he saw paw prints. was right. There was snow all over the dumpster, and the roof of the garage, the building's balconies. The tiger climbed up there, so we followed. Oh no, I keep yawning, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's the voice I'm doing. We pulled out our weapons and started after the prince. Dumpster, garage roof, balconies. My partner was huffing and puffing. Huge puffs of steam were escaping from his mouth. Passenger snickered. He stops and told me that we must look for our ancestors. Look like prehistoric men wielding flint spears. We couldn't help laughing. We knew how stupid we must look. We got up to the roof. The tiger was there. Damn, what a shock. It was a magnificent beast. Up on it, almost 2 meters in size. Maybe, I accidentally hit the button, maybe 3. Took our breath away. The tiger looked at us. There was fear in his eyes. He was shaking. We realized we screwed up. We never should have come. If it attacked, we had to kill it. But neither of us wanted to kill it after seeing it. He stared at us. Paris was utterly calm. Snow as far as I could see. A white skyline. And then, the passenger pauses and closes his eyes slowly. Something in his voice cracks. He jumps off the roof. It was remarkable. A moment of silence. He is still shivering. He was trying to escape? No. He didn't aim for another building, or for me, or my partner. He jumped into the void. Knew he'd been cornered. The passenger needed a few seconds before going back to his story. I get the impression he's still shaking as much as he got it. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. We leaned as far as we could off the roof to look below. It looked like he was asleep, lying comfortably in the snow. Giant orange and black spot on a feather bed. He watches the street go by. The hospital is close now. Where did he come from? It's funny actually, and a bit more pleasant. He suddenly grins. Some petty cooks in the north thought it'd be quite a hoot to have a pet tiger. So one day, they went to a circus and swiped the tiger. While they were driving back home through Paris, the tiger tried to eat them and decided to let them go on the spot. Right in the Saint-Germain-des-Prés. The grin spreads across his face. Morons. You park in front of the hospital. A passenger suddenly speaks up. His voice sounds more confident than before. I think I'd do just what the tiger did. His death seems so calm and gentle. It can't hurt too much to fall into a huge bed of feathers. He glances quickly at his shaking hand. Into the rearview mirror, the police inspector seems oddly small, as if he was drunk during the ride. Seriously, it can't hurt too much. He hands you his money and gets out of the cab. You watch him walking away without saying a word. The sliding doors at the entrance of the hospital take far too long to open. You drive away. Almost poetic in a way. Not sure where to go next. Let's go to this guy since he looks like Elvis. Phil Bourgois. Charles de Gaulle, make it snappy. The passenger who settled in the back seat could be a male model. That's Elvis. That's Mr. Elvis Presley. Yeah,
expect you to take him to Charles de Gaulle Airport. His voice is mild and pleasant. You sense your passenger wants to talk about the killer. It's simple. Since the first murder, everyone thinks they know something. Everyone thinks they saw something. And this passenger is no exception. Okay. You watch him in the rearview mirror as he adjusts his clothes, checks his breath, obviously primping. You drive people to the airport all the time. They bring along a suitcase or a bouquet of flowers. Your passenger doesn't have either. That black spot, like, I know it's like the back of the seat, just looks like he has a gun in his hand. He's looking at himself in the rearview mirror. His lips part and he runs his tongue over his teeth. Nothing stuck in my teeth, right? You shake your head no. You wonder why he's going to the airport. You're wondering why I'm going to the airport, aren't you? Yes. I could tell you were curious. I'll tell you, but it's a secret. His voice changed as if he was about to deliver a speech. Women today are far too smart for us men. Too smart. They're onto us the minute we try to hit on them. He crinkles his nose as if there was a bad smell in the cab. There are dozens of books on how to get lucky, on how to score, but they all make the same big mistake. Do you know what the mistake I'm talking about is? They're written by men? I don't see why that's a problem. After all, deer don't write books on hunting, do they? He smirks. No, let me tell you. All those books about hitting on women never tell you where the best hunting grounds are. A theatrical pause. Airports. Another theatrical pause. It's brilliant, right? Women in airports are lonely, emotional, and available. On the street, they're always in a hurry. Don't have any time. The movies or a museum, they don't want to be disturbed. But at the airport, he clearly very proud of himself. He remains silent. He crinkles in his nose and sniffs again. Is it me, or is there a funny smell in your cab? You sniff too. Sorry, I don't smell anything. He shrugs and goes back to his monologue. Personally, I prefer older women. Let him talk. Single moms who are at the airport to pick up or send their kids to their exes. They were waiting at an unaccompanied miner's counter to get information about a late flight or a gate change. I walk over to the counter, look at the flight information, pretend to be worried. Why are you doing that? My sister, I say. I'm waiting for my little sister. She's never been to Paris before. I'm going to take her to Louvre. She wants to work in fashion someday. She's already very talented. I hope everything is okay. That she had a good flight. That she means the world to me. She's my half-sister, but I love her like a sister. I smile. He takes another sniff, glances around the cab, and picks up where he left off. The half-sister line. It works every time. Divorced parents, remarried. Every time. He bursts out laughing. A word of advice, though. You have to get there early. Make a day of it. Keep an eye on the domestic flights, the delays, the companies. It requires a little preparation, but I usually go home with a 20, even 30 numbers. In 6 hours? Not bad, eh? I'll interrupt him, I guess. Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? No, of course, not at all. Anything to help you understand my game plan. I don't want to say this, but do you really need to go through all that? What do you do after all that? After what? After you get their numbers. Ah, very good question. I rate all the women I've... Oh, God. Oh.
I rate all the women I've talked to, give them stars on a scale of 1 to 5, according to their appeal level. I go home, I start sending messages, first to the 3 stars. He drops his voice in knowing tones. They're the easiest, the best looks, easy ratios. Same thing the next day with the 4 stars. They usually plan hard to get. They see themselves as real beauties. He sniffs with a look of disgust. And then the 5 stars, the day after that, just to leave them hanging a little, to get them to doubt their own attractiveness. It's the rule number 1 that when you want to pick up women with my little strategy, lower the sense of self-esteem. Oh, what a jerk. The cab pulls into the drop-off lane. The passenger pays the fare and exits the cab. I'm telling... He's not there. I'm telling you should take my advice. It's a piece of cake. You just need to come up with a good line or 2. They all fall for it. It's really bizarre, but... Why is he not here? The smell of crap seems to be following me wherever I go. Yeah, maybe it's you. He walks away under the sole... Oh my god. He walks away under the sole of his right shoe. He casts sight of a dark brown spot. The passenger disappears into the airport. You roll into the back seat window. You roll down the back seat window and start up the cab. Not much time left. Not much gas left either. Anybody important? No. I'll do you. Alicia collects. My poetry needs a car ride. Oh, that's a large fare. I'm gonna do it. The woman getting in your cab looks frantic. I've lost my inspiration. Every last drop of it. Come on now. Drive. You throw her a very skeptical look in the rearview mirror. I'll tell you when to stop. I am seeing a stream. Dead. A billabong. She stops talking. You hear a low guttural sound coming from her throat. A mantra. A billabong? Billabong. I must find a billabong. What's that? She inhales, closes her eyes and focuses. Her voice drops, becomes more intent. Oh my god, look at her. She looks like she is about to kill me. A billabong, a dead river. There's one right below us. Drive! Drive, I say! Okay, start driving. You start driving. A few minutes go by before you realize your passenger is making a guttural sound. The sound resonates in the hum of the engine. Once in a while she changes notes, modulating and playing with the harmonics. Suddenly she shouts, "Turn left!" Then abruptly, as if she was following a path she alone could see. Go down the boulevard! You drive for a few minutes, aimlessly. In your back seat, your passenger is still singing. The meter is running, the kind of ride that puts you out of sorts. Who knows when it will end? Passenger squeals. Stop! Right here! Not a bit further! You brake. Yes! Yes! She whistles. A high, loud note. The billabong runs right just beneath us. Its water flows no more. A black stream from my vagina stops short. What is with this? Oh my god. The rumble of revolution. The water flows no more. All that remains is the clothes to clear the way the remains. You stop the engine. Silence fills the cab. Your
passenger's low voice and the scratch of her pencil on the paper are hypnotizing. How many rivers have run dry? The water left, its bed flows no more. You feel something vibrate beneath you. Probably the metro. How I long to sculpt the clay and the mud of life in this water that flows no longer. Except the metro doesn't run this late at night. I plunge my cows into the water that flows no longer. I am calmed and refreshed by its coolness. She squeals so loudly it makes you jump. Then she returns to a simpler and more natural tone. Thank you! The poem has been years in the making. I was only missing a few lines until tonight. I sensed the billabong I needed while walking down the street, like a Sharon. Amused, she opens her eyes. You. When you're driving alone at night like this, what moves you the most? Never alone, or the people who don't sleep. Lack of silence. I'm gonna say lack of silence. The passenger enters the new trance-like state. Once again, she starts making the guttural sound. The city speaks to us. Even in the dead of night, garages hum, metros vibrate, TVs crackle, street lamps flicker, sodium lights. As you drive, it's actually your ears that are making the steering wheel turn. Let us dive once more into the water that flows no longer. Listen closely, the singing stream is still there. She takes a moment to bask in the words that she has just spoken. A second later, she has left the cab. I knew I would find my inspiration on the path to the billabong. She freezes. Your color is marble. Ophicolite. Never forget this. She walks. She says nothing more. Passes her fare through the window and walks away with purpose. You sigh and drive away. I'm out of time and almost out of gas. Yo. Present. No, I didn't count. Do you know more about your clients? Check the pasta menu for more details. You had dinner with Jim. You met Perot. Perot told you he was gay. Perot told you about James. Perot threw up. You know, I heard when you're coming out and you're afraid to come out to anyone, Perot threw up again. I heard that it's best to first come out to a stranger because what? I mean, I don't know. That's what I heard. You'd find Perot amongst his colleagues. You drop Perot off with his colleagues. You have met Hussein. Is that me or the brother? The devil? Ragnar hunted a tiger. You have met Phil. You have met Alicia. Alicia taught you what a billabong is. Alicia finished her poem, Billabong. Alright, that's it. Is this the last night? I really have no clue. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. You're suddenly overcome with a desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids and let out a yawn. You glance at your bed and get to work. Oh no, I have no new... Oh, no. Clues or whatnot. a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. What just happened? I hit the wrong button! That's what happened. You lie down on the sofa bed and Flame Creek. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Okay. You open one eye. You slept badly. Sometimes you're so tired you can't seem to get any rest. You like to understand how that's even possible. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. How many nights are there? Let me look this up real quick. Okay, I gotta do... Oh, I don't. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go see him, and then I'm gonna get gas. Driving along when a strange burnt smell suddenly fills the car. Let me look at how many nights are in night car. There's 7 nights. You have 7 nights, or they'll pin it on you. Okay. I wonder if there is an ending where it is you. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me turn this off. You look around, sniff. Is it coming from outside? We're gonna park. We're gonna park, boy. As soon as you see a free spot, you pull over and park. You freeze. Something or someone is in your taxi. A woman's voice resonates around the cab. I can't. Need a better signal. I'm here. I'm here. Turn around slowly. A young woman has appeared behind you. Don't shout. I'm afraid I'll lose the connection. I don't have much time. There's something strange about her face. It's as if she's several different people at once. Listen to me carefully. I come from the future. And you must know that you met. She stops moving like a computer glitch. She stays this way, still, frozen. Then she suddenly starts moving again. We're good. I think it's all taken care of. She smiles at you. Thanks for the information. I really wish I could explain everything to you more clearly, and she starts flickering and disappears for a second. No, there's still something that... Cellular connection. She disappears for good. A few seconds go by. All appears to have returned to normal. You keep driving. Sorry, 40 seconds ago. Your voice is coming from the radio. Passengers, if that's the correct term, the voice is broken by a loud grumbling noise. Like someone else is speaking at the same time. Turn up the volume. You can make it out the young woman's voice. She's giving what seems to be a well-rehearsed speech. The virus appeared on September 18th, 2049. Remember that date. 2049. September 18th. The voice disappears entirely. Instead, you hear what seems to be a liturgical chant in an Asian language on the same frequency. I
don't know what that means. Look for higher or lower station. And leave it on.
From then, half of the semester, just imagine, millions, mountains of corpses. 20 years old back, I was fighting robots. I knew everybody. Twin died. Virus attacks. Permanent.
Voice cuts up abruptly. The liturgical chant starts up again. You're able to determine a language. Vietnamese.
Civil war. Death. Utah. There were mass fascism. Religious. We set the record straight about science. Sciences.
Voice is drowned out by an avalanche of applause. You hear a new voice, deep, powerful. It's in English. American from what you can tell from the accent. Am I supposed to look for a higher station or something? I'm gonna look for a higher station. There we go. My bad, I should have done that first to begin with. Got an achievement, give me a second. Can't see. Still can't see.
That's why we've been traveling back in time. The virus is entirely man-made. And if we created it, we can destroy it. I need information. I need you to help me find certain passengers.
Let me reassure you. None of this is your fault.
I can tell you anything more.
We have to keep close tabs on changes we made to the past. Too big of a risk otherwise. Her voice is suddenly clearer than ever. I hope you understand. It's crucial for us that you... One moment.
Yes!
A strange young woman appears all of a sudden in the back seat again.
Ah!
Sorry about all the comings and goings. Our technology is not 100% yet. The tiniest smile crosses her face. It's almost invisible.
Anyway, I hope you got the point.
Especially since we have to remain in hiding for the time being. She stops talking for a second. Her face flickers. They're after us. They're not really any way to put it. There's not really any other way to put it. As I was saying, the extremists are trying to... She vanishes out of the blue. The other smell vanishes. The radio turns off. You pull over as soon as you see a free spot. You remain still for a while. She doesn't seem to be coming back. Sorry, I had to have some water. You shake your head, disturbed by the strange visitor, and get back to work. Well, I couldn't get to him. I need gas. Gas. You pull over to stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eye and the smell of pee is wafting up from the space in between the pumps. Self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. It might be worth asking a couple questions. You get out of your taxi and are struck by the familiar feeling that you're the last person on Earth. Okay. Let me fill the tank first. Okay, so I think that's good. the mini mart. The guy behind the counter doesn't even look at you, and you starts to talk in a lazy, lifeless tone.
Welcome.
He sighs, beyond tired of repeating the same sentence over and over again.
To La Belle Pompeii. Talk with the clerk.
Let's get a scratch off. Purdue. Losing tickets. No luck. Okay. Get a newspaper, whatever. And talk with the clerk. You examine the newspaper and magazine covers. The serial killer is on front of the page on all of them.
It's crazy. Oh no, that's me. It's crazy, isn't it? You'd think they have caught him by now.
The clerk smiles. You recognize the twinkle in his eyes. This guy has something to tell you.
Good night, I guess. Okay. You nod and exit the shop. You get in your taxi and drive away. Anybody good? Oh, I was gonna read the newspaper, but let's see you first. Harvey. Or Herv. Might be Herv. Sounds more right. It's gonna be a free ride, I think. Need a ride, cabby? The door opened. It's Herv. He greets you with his bizarre verbal tick, as usual.
You're getting damn cold out now, Ow.
Hi, Herv.
Start the engine. Herv seems pretty happy with himself today. In the rearview mirror, you watch him run his tongue over his lips, as if mentally preparing for a good meal. He catches your eye and smiles.
Sorry I'm a bit out of it today.
So I see.
It's just been a bad week. You know, a really bad week. Then yesterday...
He hesitates as if he can't believe what he's about to say, like it's too good to be true. The lines around the corner of his eyes, they show his real age, crinkle slightly. Herb gives him a little laugh.
Serious, man, I don't believe in God, you know? I don't believe in all that crap. That bull crap. It doesn't make any sense. Some guy with a beard up in the sky, never got it. What people saw in him. Anyhow, God, none of us believe in him on the street.
His eyes crinkle up at the corners again.
I mean, we believe in the soup kitchen, go to church. Yeah, sure, we believe in him then.
He flashes his teeth and lets out a harsh, raspy laugh. Oh, a pause.
So, yesterday?
Yesterday?
He's observing you. His eyes light up all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, yesterday.
Talking faster now, and incessant flow.
I was starving, man. It was pretty bad. Toby and I had gone through all the garbage bins in the neighborhood. Toby, this German guy, he prefers France, but that they say they're more generous here, so I was starving.
Herv's eyes tear up. His voice drops off. A faraway look comes over him. A lengthy pause.
Are you okay, Herv?
Snaps out of it.
Yeah, like I was saying, I was saying that, yeah, I was starving. I was hanging out near the supermarket of Rue Ramassa. Fancy neighborhood, but not too fancy. No cops.
He gives you a wink.
That's always a plus. And then there was like this guy I sometimes see around. Young guy, like a kid. He comes out of the supermarket with groceries, and before I could even say a word, he hands me a can of cassoulet. A can of cassoulet as big as a beach ball.
Her's face lights up.
I didn't even know I'd made him that big.
They made him that big. Herv busts out laughing, and his eyes wander back to the street.
And then? And then what?
I don't know. That's the whole story. Your passenger stares at you for a minute.
Yeah, kid gave me a 3-meal can of cassoulet.
You say nothing. What were you expecting?
I don't know.
Irv suddenly pats you on the shoulder.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna get out here if you don't mind?
You park the cab as soon as you can and see empty space.
Thanks, man.
He's looking out the window.
I think that's him.
Ooh.
Nothing.
Without another word, he opens the door and gets out.
This time I'm gonna get him.
A moment later, he vanishes into a dark alley.
I'm gonna sit there a minute.
Your eyes scan the dark, narrow street, but you can't make anything out. Then something moves in the distance, a silhouette. Probably Herb, now at a run. The form darts under a street lamp. This is Herb, holding something in his hand. He immediately vanishes from sight. You sit there for a minute, and then you switch on the ignition and pull out of the parking space. Pretty good. Let's read the newspaper. Pull the newspaper out of your glove compartment and leafing through it. Eventually something grabs your eye. It's a long interview with one of the whistleblowers that start talking about the infamous police leak scandal that everyone's talking about. The photo is not very flattering, but you recognize your passenger. You turn the page and stop. You read the third of a newspaper. You stop reading and go back a few pages. You thought you saw something. In a short, rather tense article, a journalist explains the 200th American-style coffee house just opened in Paris. She regrets the disappearance of the real, authentic bistros. You sigh. You only have a third left to read. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at. You glance at the critique of Alicia's latest collection of poetry. The critic seems to be convinced, but is curious to know what might have inspired her to write this masterpiece. Shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in the glove compartment. That's the girl we picked up, Alicia Cleft. Let's see, what else? Anybody good? I'm gonna listen to the radio. Your finger is poised in front of the car radio. You're trying to find something to listen to. It should be about time for Top News tonight. One of those call-in shows. We listen to the news. You happen upon the nighttime news. You learn that one of the recipients of this year's Fields Medal, a prize award for outstanding work in mathematics, is a French woman in Iranian descent. You hear that her voice in a short clip is immediately recognized as one of your passengers. Her name is Shohab Pervez, age 33, on the spectrum, and a mathematician. You can't help but smile, remembering that when she rode in your back seat. As soon as news is over, you turn the radio off till the cab is silent again. I want to see what this guy is. I don't even care that I'm wasting time. I just want to be done with this already. I want to know who it is. Pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent light
Wait, what? Why am I at a gas station again? Did I hit the gas station by accident? Irritate your eyes and smell of paint is wafting up from the space between the pumps. Self-service here, you pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there must sell newspaper. The person behind the counter sees here thing. It might be a question, you sigh. Getting a taxi call gives you hard. I can't even go to the store. Okay, but why am I here? Did I hit the gas station by accident? I didn't bother repeating everything because we just went to the gas station. Did I hit the gas station instead of the guy by accident? Oh my god, what a waste of time. I wanted to see that guy. Okay, let's see. We got Danny Trejo over here. Let's see Danny Trejo. Milo Reacher. I need a cab, quick. Okay. You pull up in front of an American embassy. You can't recall ever picking up a customer here. They probably have a fleet of their own. Or a contract with a private company. The door opens and you take an immediate liking to the guy who gets in. You find him somehow reassuring, like a lost tourist. He babbles something in English. You have to listen hard to make out the address. Okay. Sorry, I'm back in Paris. I've forgotten my manners. He flashes you a sparkling smile. His voice is tingled with a slight American accent. You turn the key in ignition. Thanks. What's your name, pal? He's surprised to hear me as a familiar two form straight off the bat. I don't understand the symbols. Hussein. Nice to meet you, Hussein. He stares at you intently for a moment. My name is... He nods slowly, as if disheartened. If I reveal my name, I'll be left with no other choice. I'd have to kill you. He pauses, way too long to be joking. His face darkens. It's a different man on the seat behind you. Then his face creases into a grin. Hey, amigo, I'm just joking. I work for the CIA, that's all. Wow, a CIA agent. You're an undercover agent? Yeah, you could say that. Is that why your French is so good? I speak 8 other languages, too. You give a slow whistle. Oh, sorry, my wanna. Not bad for a Yankee, eh? He burst into laughter. No wonder I'm a spy, eh, amigo? He slumps back in his seat a little, as if he's been knocked on the head. I've been overdoing it a little lately. Doctors tell me I need to lay off the booze, or I won't make it through the year. His hand flutters nervously in the air. I was speaking Spanish all day. Got a bit of a splitting headache. My buddy from Cuba and me, we were at this meeting. Went on forever. What kind of meeting? Oh, that. Can't talk about that yet, amigo. But maybe tomorrow you'll hear something on the radio. You'll say to yourself, of course, it's Milo, he's the one. And you'll be right. I will be. I'll give you a clue, though. It has to do with Cuba. He gives a strange sigh, a faraway look in his eyes. Should have kept Cuba. Kept Cuba? Yeah, like 100 years ago, it belonged to the old U.S. of A. Did you know? I mean, it wasn't exactly ours, but it was sort of ours. You know what I mean? You give a nod. We helped them gain independence. Gave them a lot of help. In fact, military, boats. Those were the good old days. His sudden bellow of laughter gives you quite a start. Ha! I bet you don't even know the American mafioso when I moved there. The mafioso?
Yeah, the Italians, you know what I mean? Like in the movies, Don Coloni, all that. Cosa Nostra has casinos in there. The 50s. You know, you could go for the weekend, fat wads of cash, changing hands and all. 1940s, boy, so were the good old days.
Those were the days.
The entire decade was. How old are you? I'm not talking from personal experience, of course. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't even born back then. He gives you a little wink. When I first joined the company, the old timers, that's when they all talked about. The good old days, the suits, the big cars. I get back to Miami on Monday morning, go straight into the office. I missed out on all that. His eyes were half closed, his voice thick with emotion. But today, that's a thing of the past now. Today we make plans and presentations and we produce statistics and spreadsheets. He's staring at you intently. We take turns. My turn one day, yours the next. It's not the same anymore. You have to change with the times. Or retire and blow all your savings on booze. What exactly do you do? I'm a government facilitator. You're in marketing? In some ways, yes. I help people make the right choices by getting rid of the competition. Believe me, and this is coming from an American, nobody likes competition. Competition is a way of getting people worked up. It keeps them busy, controls what it's really all about. He taps you on the shoulder. Last stop, amigo. You pull over. The street is dark and lifeless, perfectly quiet. You see the little side street over there? You nod yes. The best bar in Paris is on it. It's run by Venezuelans. The owner, he could have been a finance minister, you know. But instead, he runs the best joint in town. And all because the CIA prefers meetings and spreadsheets. Tough luck for the Venezuelans. Excuse me, and so much better for me. His roar of laughter nearly pierces your eardrum. He gets out of the cab and shakes your hand, handing you the fare and then some. Your eyes follow his bulky form as he crosses the street and turns into the dark alleyway. You sit there for a minute, somewhat confused. He's a strange one, not all that unpleasant really, and yet utterly vile. You start up the cab. You. I don't have much time to play, and I want to finish this game today. Amelia Chandefer. I need help. Let's do it. The next passenger getting in your cab is chilled to the bone. Would you mind? You turn up the heat immediately. Thank you. Her teeth are shattering. You look like she's at the end of the rope. Thank you. I've been wandering around the woods for 3 hours. She looks at you. I'm not a... Let her speak. She mumbles an almost inaudible thanks, shuts her eyes for a second, and enjoys the warmth. Where to? Nowhere. Here, actually. I need your help, if you're willing. You lean over to her. If I can be of help. Yes, I think. I lost my cat. He ran off into the woods. Would you help me? Would you mind helping me look for him? You nod. I'll look left and you look right. You start to drive very slowly. You should be able to hear him. He's, wounded. She opens the window.
gust of icy cold air fills the cab.
Wounded?
Yes, he broke his paw a few weeks ago. Ooh. And I came out here so I could stretch his legs a bit. But he got scared and ran away. Surprising, because he knows the place. She flashes you a smile.
What's his name?
The young lady freezes. His name is Vincent, like the woods, since that's where I found him. She looks away. You've been doing this job for a while?
A few years now.
Nice. Okay. For several minutes, silence fills the cab. From time to time, she sticks her head out the window and pulls her cat. Petite! Petite, petite, petite! Sorry. She catches you looking at her in the rearview mirror and looks back at the window. Vincennes! Vincennes!
Okay. Rather unusual name.
Yeah, that's, for sure. I'm not very good at choosing names. She burst out with forced laughter. For example, if I ever had a child one day, I'd probably end up calling her, Marie. Or Louis, or something unconventional, you know?
Or Vincennes?
Another bout of forced laughter. If I gave birth to Vincennes, why not? Her laughter slowly dies out. Okay, fine. I must confess something. It's not exactly my cat.
Whose cat is it then?
She smirks. I'm a vet student. Oh no. And the cat is from the lab at school. It escaped, and if I don't find it, I'll get a really bad grade and I'll have to repeat a year. And if I have to repeat a year, my parents won't pay for school anymore. See, my mother and father were very reputable veterinarians. I can't let them down.
We'll find him.
She lowers her gaze. Her voice is soft. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry, my finger skips. It has a mind of its own. The kind of thing never happens. Usually the cats are... She cuts her sentence off and looks short and looks outside. I thought I saw something. You keep driving. You've never driven as slowly in the boy's business Venice. From time to time, your passenger looks like she's seen or heard something. She hits the seat abruptly. Over there! I can hear him! You stop the taxi. The tires squeal softly on the gravel. The passenger runs off into the night. You wait for her for a second, and you begin to hear the cat's cries. The meows are harrowing, painful. The passenger reappears without the cat.
What's going on?
She's obviously in shock. Oh no, she's obviously in shock, staring into the nothingness. I can't. It's terrible.
What's happening?
The cat was... She finally shuts her eyes and catches her breath. We were in the middle of dissecting the cats when this one woke up and ran away. He's half open.
What?
She lowers her head so you can't see her tears. I can't leave him like that, but I can't bring him back. He's suffering too much. Her hands are shaking. The meowing in the distance curdles your blood.
I can handle this.
No, She slowly raises her head, like her skull weighs a ton. I can't ask you to do that for me. It's my fault.
I'll take care of him. Oh, that scared me. I got an achievement and I just wasn't expecting it.
Wait, I'm so confused. They just cut open a perfectly healthy cat or something? And it's still alive? The passenger says nothing more. You open the door and get out of the cab, take a few steps in the cold. The gravel squeaks under the weight of your shoes. Now, the grass. The meowing alone becomes more and more painful and plaintive, leads you to the cat. You lean over near it. For a second, it looks like it's going to bite you. Then it changes its mind. You grab its neck. You can feel the wound under your fingers. Ugh. Your fingers work their way back up to the muzzle of its mouth. You can feel a whisker tickle your fingertips. You yank. Like your brother taught you. Like your brother showed you. You can see. You know, I had no clue what I was doing. I'm like so dense. Is he ending the cat's eye? You can see the blood on the sand in the courtyard trickling up to your feet. You get up slowly. From where you are, you can see the thick cloud of pollution that hangs over Paris. Orange, huge, but somehow non-threatening. Reassuring, actually. The cat has stopped meowing. You walk back towards the cab. Your fingers crave a cigarette. Your lips crave a cigarette. Your eyes crave a cigarette. The passenger wants to die. Yeah, so if your passenger wants to die, why don't you just smoke in the car and kill her? Doors open, front seat, key in ignition, motor running. You start driving, your passenger speaking, but her voice sounds far away. I live on Rue de la Contrescar. You nod. A few minutes later, you leave the Bois de Vincennes. The city goes by. You feel like it's only been just built, just settled in. You're shaking a little. In the back seat, your passenger starts to sob. I'm so sorry. If I'd known, I wouldn't have. You stare right at her. You're not far from your destination now. You want nothing more to smoke a cigarette. Forget all this. Move on. Yeah, I don't think cigarettes give you amnesia. Your voice immediately betrays how tired you are.
Leave it be. You should just forget about this evening. You and I.
You think? You cock-a-doodle-doo your head. You might feel migraine coming on. God. Silence fills the cab again. You keep driving in silence, paying no attention to the movements in the back seat. I honestly have no clue what I was supposed to say, because I still have no clue what's going on. When you pull up to the address she gave you, she pays her fare without another word. She opens the door and gets out of the taxi. After a few meters, she freezes.
Everything okay?
She almost jumps when she hears your voice and walks towards the building. 5 seconds go by slowly. Before she hurries, head bowed towards her building. She disappears behind a large wooden door. I suppose she lives in one of the old maid's chambers on the top floor.
That's the tip you gave me?
You made me kill a cat, and that's your tip? Okay, we ran out of time. Good. You've met Janet.
Sorry, I sneezed twice.
You found Janet's station.
You found out?
Sure, I won the Fields Medal. Oh, I got no money. You've met Milo.
Milo told you about Cuba.
You met Amelia. You took care of Amelia's problem. Again, still confused about what just happened. You open your front door and your foot hits something. An envelope. Someone stood under the door, Bousse. You open it straight away. It's a police file. You lay it on the table. Must be from your passenger, the whistleblower. He smiled. He kept his word. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbor punches his doors and out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. Time to get moving on your investigation.
Okay. Now let's make sure I hit the right buttons. Okay, this goes here. Okay, you know what? Let me just put these under like this. This in the middle. This right here. I'll put this here. Boom, boom. Okay. Okay, these mean nothing. And then we have all these. Let me look. I really hope it's not Perot. I love Perot. Give me a second. Okay. I know little to nothing about Gloria. God, 70. We know about the weapon. The weapon is... And that's like hard evidence, no? The phone rings. You impulsively take a step back. It's the moment of truth. Pick it up. Hello? Hi. Ice cold. So? Okay. We'll say it's a woman, okay. She lives she heaves alongside. There's no background noise. She must not be at the station. Oh! Oh! I don't have a name for you yet! But... I'm gonna ask, where are you? I'm... For a second, you think she's gonna tell you, but then... Somewhere. None of your business. A light clicking noise. Sound of a teacup on a coaster, maybe? I'm listening. What have you got for me? She clears her throat. Her voice sounds louder and more confident. You glance at the wall. Your suspects are all lined up. All the evidence, a whole mess of your ideas. Your stomach is in a knot. I don't have to remind you. You cannot get this wrong. I have a meeting in 2 hours with the district attorney and the chief of police. Even the Minister of the Interior will be in the corner of the room somewhere. Obviously, I'm thrilled. Oh. But I certainly do not want you to put too much pressure on you. You can almost hear the smirk she must be wearing. You lay the receiver down on the table. Now you have to decide. No! Oh, no! Killer's height. Alright, everybody. That's everybody. That mean nothing to me. We're gonna say turn that off right now. Weapon kept in perfect shape by a professional. Okay. Why is Perot? What is Perot? Service. No. Let me go like this. Homeless man seen around the crime scene. 2 and 3. Have received money from a residence trial. Stolen wallet. Okay, that means nothing. That don't mean nothing. Everybody's wearing black gloves. Turn that off. Alright. Perot. You deserve this. You worked on the scandal. Kept in perfect shape. Not part of a police thing. Okay. Crime scene. Linked to the process. Time is up. Prisoners. Okay. Fragonard for his case. Child molester. I don't remember what that has to do with anything. The weapon was a rare gun used in the 70s. Police gun used in the 70s. Kept in perfect shape by a professional. I think it's you, Paul. I hope I'm not wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Paul. Because there's so many weapon clues, and there's only like one kept in shape by a professional. Yes, but it doesn't say anything about the weapon, which was a gun used in the 70s, and he admitted that. All that, I think. I don't think it's anything to do with it. Okay. I think it's Paul. Okay, here we go. It's Paul Marie Fragonard. You pick the phone back up and explain your choice to Lieutenant Bousset. Why? How? The evidence. Your sources. She listens without saying a word. You stop talking and catch your breath. Okay. I'll buy it. Seems like a solid choice. I could fish around a bit to vet your information. She pauses. You can almost hear her nodding. I'll call you tonight. Try to get some sleep. She pauses. No way she's gonna hang up with such a positive note. No, she's probably going to. It might be your last night of freedom. She snickers and hangs up. She puts the phone down. You might as well be standing in the ice-cold emptiness of outer space. You decide to go to bed. To sleep. Best way to kill time. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. Slide onto the open sofa bed. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at the investigation board. You sigh when you think that just a few hours, it'll all be over. You'll have answers again. We'll say we'll have our arrest. Paris will be peaceful again. But what about you? What'll you do? Shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Just when you're about to fall asleep, you think you hear a voice in the distance. He doesn't judge souls. You jump without understanding where the voice is coming from. Outside, Paris is waking up. And you fall asleep. I hope I got it right. You open one eye. You had a hard night. Restless. Get the impression you aged 5 years in a matter of hours. Fragments of dreams are still lingering. You were doing a circus act. Maybe mime? You're not sure how. You're not sure now. You get up quickly, you forget all that. And a few minutes later, you're outside your studio. Night 7 last night, people. Now, I'm gonna be wasting so much time because I gotta get ready. You barely got downstairs when you catch sight of Bousset. She's leaning up against the door of your cab, eyes wide open, forehead creased. Get in. You obey, too early to react.
She settles into the back seat, flashes a smile.
Good news, you're right. Or at least the DA thinks your evidence is sufficient.
Oh, that's good. No emotion in her voice. She's giving you the facts, nothing more.
We're going to bring Fragonard in tonight.
She nods, her expression clouds over.
I have trouble.
She freezes.
Fragonard's a mentor. Mine. And half the squad's. You can't understand. He's an institution. She stops, she clears her throat. I need your help. One last time. Later on tonight. We're gonna get Fragonard to leave home and find a way to get him into your taxi.
She pulls some kind of pen out of her pocket and puts it in a little cubby just above the car stereo. This is a book.
You need a confession?
If you feel like it. If you think you can manage. I've seen you and heard you enough to know that you have a trick. A gift for helping people to talk. I need someone I could trust to close to Fragonard without making him suspicious. He's a cop. He knows how we work. Now, we've never seen a taxi driver gonna make an arrest. He won't put up a fight. I hope he'll open up to you. Then he'll confess things before things fall apart. Not too far from the hospital where he goes to get his treatment, there's an alleyway under construction. There won't be any civilians. Just us and him. She sighs. Two teens walk by the cab. An intense smell of weed fills the cab, but Say doesn't budge. I know you can do it. If you stick to the plan, nothing can go wrong.
Understood.
She gives you a typical smile, like the owner admiring her dog after performing a trick. Perfect trick. I'm off. She lays her hand on the door handle. You pick the suspect up, drive to the meeting point, and you're free. Easy as pie. She gets out of the cab, slams the door, and walks away quickly. Crap! You hit the dashboard. Intense pain spreads through your hand. You grab the keys and turn. The motor comes on. Your night is about to begin. Your last night. Okay. Her. Now here's the thing. I don't think I'm going to have time to finish the game right now. I think I'm going to go on one more time later tonight and finish it. Because I'm not going to be able to finish it, and I wanted to finish it on here. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave it like this, and then I'll come back to it later. Because I still have a whole night worth to do. We're going to start off with going to Herv's. I have a whole night, and I don't know how much longer the game will be after I do that. It should be a shorter stream, but it'll be more special because it's the ending. So anyways, thanks you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, which will be tonight or whatever. And I'm hoping to get back into this. It was just, you know, I had to get myself here mentally and whatnot. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.